No, I've been a bad boy. I haven't been posting. And to be honest, it's, I tell you, man, I've been on the brink of sports suicide with this net team. Never felt worse about a team in my life than I have with this net team. Of course, expectation level probably too high, but how could it not be, 49 win team last year. To me, you upgraded in so many ways. But on paper you upgraded in so many ways. And we're seeing now that, boy, paper doesn't mean jack shit. Sitting on Wednesday night, Thanksgiving Eve, usually go back to my hometown, hung at the Big Apple. Props to the boys at the Big Apple. My brother Joey, big Net fan, and my buddy Pete, also a big Net fan. So we're going to watch the Laker game. And within minutes, we were losing by 27 points. First thing, it's a sports bar. There's like 500 TVs. And there's no net game on. So, of course, I asked the bartender, can you put the nets on? He goes, nets? Did you say nets? I said, yes, nets. Put the game on, and I'm watching Jordan Farmar, Nick Young, and whoever has the basketball just annihilate us. We go down by 27 points. And, of course, you're going to make a run. Of course, it's not going to go wire to wire down 20 at home, at least, to a bad team. But in the end, the last 3 minutes of the game were absolute disgusting. And Paul Pierce was absolutely everything that you thought he wasn't when you got him here. He was pathetic. He missed every shot he took. I believe he was 0 for 3 down the stretch, including 2 turnovers, a charge, and that horrific pass that led to the fast break dunk that basically did them in. But you saw some positive signs. The positive signs were Teletovic emerged himself as a rotation player. But you're shaking your head going, who falls down by 27 points at home to anyone? Who does that? To a Laker team without Kobe Bryant. Steve Nash wasn't playing. I mean, you're talking a pathetic state of mind that I was for Thanksgiving. The whole night was destroyed. I was just disgusted. I thought for sure we'd get that victory. But come off of Toronto, we'll get that victory. All right. And then I'm looking at a split on the road, like I said in my prior broadcast. To me, if you went 3-1 during that 4-game stretch, I'd have something to feel good about. But instead, you lose to the Lakers. I absolutely know what's coming in Houston. I shut the game off at 14-6. I couldn't do it. Listen, it's the holiday season. I got kids. I got my daughter who's all pumped up about Christmas, and she wants to be excited. And watching the Nets is putting me in a mood where I just want to punch them. I want to be negative. I had to shut the game off at 14-6. I couldn't take it. I had company over, a couple of my buddies. That's it. I'm not watching it. And then, of course, you get the ESPN updates, 66-40 at the half, and taking a deep breath, and you just go, where does this disgrace end? Now, fortunately for me, I had an appointment on Saturday where I was not able to watch any of the Memphis game. They say, what do you mean unfortunate? Because, why? Because I would have never felt comfortable. Halftime lead, third quarter lead, never felt comfortable. And then, sure enough, there it is in the fourth quarter. They're down, they're up 1. There's no Zach Randolph. There's no Marc Gasol. Two players that absolutely destroy us. Gasol makes Lopez look like me. And here's the biggest, most telling thing that I'll say about the Memphis. Everybody wants to say, it would beat Memphis, a good road win. Memphis, the worst three-point shooting team in the league. The worst. Went 7 for 15 from beyond the arc. That's a tad under 50%. 7 for 15. They take the least threes. They make the least threes. But this is Brooklyn. Now, a W is a W. You take it. The Knicks keep shitting the bed every night. Love watching the Knicks post-game shows. Watched most of that second half yesterday with our former, still steaming over that, Ryan Anderson. How we had to include him in the Vince Carter trade is beyond me. How nice he'd look if he was still a Net. Anyway, don't get off track, Bobby. You're looking at a situation where these Knicks are absolutely pathetic. You know, we have a chance here. We got a chance here to do something this week. Now, will we do it? And this is where I say, I go back to Memphis, 7 for 15. I mean, we can't guard anybody at the arc. Anybody. Now, Denver's coming in. Denver's coming in. Let's take a look at what Denver. Just going to give you, of course, most of you guys, excuse the audio as I click to a new site. Of course, most of you guys know everybody's roster, but what do you think Ty Lawson's going to do to this Net defense? And how about our buddy who's coming back to haunt us, our buddy Nate Robinson? I mean, can you just see what's going to happen? I mean, how am I supposed to believe that they're going to beat Denver? Oh, we're coming off a Memphis win. You played Memphis. Memphis's two best players who kill you didn't play. You take the W. Oh, Bob, well, you know, so-and-so wasn't out neither. Such and such wasn't in the game. You know, Darren Williams. Please, Darren Williams. I just can't wait to see how we are going to defend that Randy Foye, another three-point shooter. I don't know. Is Andre Miller hurting? But anyway, you get the point. I mean, Danilo Gallinari, I mean, this team is going to do some nasty damage to us, especially on the perimeter. Fareed's going to eat up the inside. I don't know, man. I listen. Now, how could you bring us Net fans back into your good graces, Brooklyn? You beat Denver. Of course, Thursday, I don't even have to discuss what you need to do Thursday. Thursday, if you lose Thursday, then the Knicks are coming in with a 9-game losing streak. If they come in and get healthy on you, oh boy. And you don't think I'm worried about that? You damn right I am. I'm worried about them making 23s. Because Smith, you know, now the Hardaway kids hitting threes. Obviously Carmelo, Felton, Bargnani, they're going to hoist 30-some-odd threes. And, you know, my biggest fear is that most of them are going to go in because we can't guard. Listen, if I was playing against the Nets, they said, Bobby, let's go, get in. I will get probably 3 to 4 good looks on threes. Now, of course, they'll leave me open. They'll say, let that ugly white guy open. So it's a different story. But you know what I mean. This team stinks defensively. Horrific. And I have zero confidence that we've turned this around. You want to say, well, you know, it's a start. Okay, I'll give you starts. I'll give you starts, but 1-game winning streaks don't do nothing for me. Maybe they do you. They don't do nothing for me. As this schedule is coming up, obviously you got some home games, but we're 2-5, I believe, at home. So you got Denver coming in Tuesday, the Knicks on Thursday. You win both of those games, and you're going to start to, okay, maybe, right? But only if you win both. If you beat Denver, lose to the Knicks, no good, and even vice versa. I mean, of course, Thursday's a must-win. Let's get that clear. You cannot lose Thursday. You need to beat the Knicks. You need to beat the Knicks. The one friggin' thing that we have this year is that they are horrific. But boy, they can get healthy, and they can start with a win against us. We need to beat the Knicks. And then you got to go to Milwaukee now. Oh, Milwaukee stinks. Oh, they do? Yeah, I know they do. But what are we? You don't think Milwaukee's looking at Brooklyn as, hey, there's a winnable game. So no more do we look at a team, well, we should win that game. Wrong answer. But let's, for the sake of argument, let's take that win. How about you win the next 4 straight? How about you do that? How about you get to 9 and 12? And then you got L.A. coming in. You should be able to beat them. Played them well without Lopez. I think you're a better team than LA if you're on your game. How about you beat that? How about you win 5 straight? Asking a lot? Asking a lot to be 10-12 after the next 5, and then you're going to lose to Detroit in Detroit. You should beat Philly and Washington in your own building. Then you go to Philly, then you're gonna teeter-totter. The idea now is to finish this season as a 500 team. That's the goal. That's as sick as that sounds, but that's the goal. Or it starts this week. And Darren Williams, who knows when you're coming back, dude. I've never heard of a guy that loses weeks with sprained ankles. The ankle is the most resilient part of the body when it comes to a sprain. I mean, you could turn your ankle, and this is coming from experience, and I know I'm not an NBA player, so don't be making any wisecracks. But I've turned my ankle in games where, oh my God, I feel like hurt pops, and then 10 minutes later I'm ready. I can get on the court and run. Not our guy. Our guy sprains his ankle and he's out a month. He's out a month. And of course he's got a sprained ankle, so is he getting in shape? Oh no. Tubby's not getting in shape. He's going in the reverse direction. Darren, you got so much to prove to us Net fans if you ever want to get in our good graces. You are the A-Rod of the Nets, but I tell you what, A-Rod was an MVP. A-Rod had some big seasons with the Yankees, and he also delivered a championship to them in 2009. As much as most of us Yankee fans can't stand him, he does have 2009 in his back pocket, and he's got 5 stellar MVP-type regular seasons. Also, you have absolutely nothing. You've got Game 7 in your building last year without Derrick Rose, and you did not deliver your team to the next round. That's your legacy. And you got a legacy of being disgustingly overweight, slow, and injury prone. So, to me, everybody around the league says, well, Darren Williams is the key. Well, that scares the shit out of me if he's the key. Because if he's the key, oh boy, there might be a lot of locks. We're going to need a locksmith. If he's the key, then we're going to need some locksmiths. Because I don't know if that key's fitting into the winning cylinder. You get my drift? So let's see what happens. I'm not thrilled about beating Memphis without Zach and without Gasol. I'm not impressed. 50% of team shot from 3. Big shots Teletovic made. I give him credit. They were only up 1. He made 2 big plays. He's playing with some confidence. Good to see, because we spent $9 million on him. He's the guy we thought we were getting, not the guy that was shooting 15%. Well, let's see what happens. Give Kid credit. Give Kid credit for what he did in Houston. Sat the entire starters in the second half. That's great. To me, that's great. That shows me something. You ain't afraid. Send Johnson a message. It was 2 for 10 that day. Send Blatche a message. Hey, what do you think? Did it work? Blatche was stellar against Memphis. So was Johnson. My old theory, 5 guys have to play well. Well, he did that night. Garnett even played well. Garnett, Johnson, Teletovic, Blatche, Plumlee played well. A lot of other guys didn't. Livingston didn't play well, neither did Anderson. But, Lopez, of course, 5 guys played well, and you won the game. You got the W. But don't cite it as a character big-time win. No. That's a depleted Memphis team without their 2 best players. Beat Denver, beat the Knicks, then you're going to get me interested again. Lose one of them, then this is what it's going to be. That's going to be. And if you lose Thursday, then I don't know what this show is going to be like. If you lose Thursday, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do one. I'm having trouble. I'm openly admitting that I am having trouble discussing this team. I didn't think I'd be doing this many broadcasts. I thought by now I'd have maybe 5. Instead I got 10. Because we have to discuss, my therapy is forcing me to discuss this putricity of a basketball team. Let's see what happens this week. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way. and leave me alone.